Okay, so I just recently got this thing updated to Windows 10, and as you can see here, this is not a very powerful machine. It's a very old machine in reality. I don't even know the exact time, but if I were to rough estimate guess, I would say like 2007, maybe 2008, this thing was created. It's an older DDR2 system. You know, it's the Dell Optiplex 745. This is a older Core 2 Duo processor, and it only runs at 1.8 megahertz. And I did upgrade this to 8 gigs of RAM. I used the G-Skill RAM. I got them from, it's a 2 sticks of 4 each that I got from Newegg some time ago. For some reason, only Newegg sells them, which is kind of weird. But there's also the 2 gig version you can get of the sticks, and this does have 4 slots, so you could do that too. But yeah, so I just recently got this to Windows 10. I did Windows 10, the free upgrade, back in 2016, but I don't know, it was like very sluggish, and like the frames too, like it was like all shaky. It just was not stable. And like the only thing that I did today was that so I back then I had to go back to Windows 7 with it, but I decided recently, a couple days back, to just attempt to see if it could run Windows 10. This thing isn't going to be any good for like gaming or anything crazy like that. You can only really use this to like browse the web. But like there was an issue in the past where it would make your disk and even your CPU run at 100%. It does still kind of do that here, but it's not constant. I used to work at Geek Squad, and it used to have people's computers and relatively new PCs too, like DDR3, DDR4 PCs, in terms of the memory. That it would just have the disk running, or even the CPU running at 100% with like little to nothing running in the background. And like here I see that too, but it's not constant, and it's like really for like a few minutes. And then the CPU and even the disk, it would go back after like a few minutes, drop down. So, but and like with this system, when I did that free upgrade of Windows 10, it actually did do that, but it did it on the disk for this PC. And I just have a regular hard drive. I did recently, when I upgraded to Windows 10, I didn't use the old hard drive that I had. That's already like 6, 7 years old anyway. I just switched out the hard drive to Hitachi drive, 2.5-inch drive. I had to get a little adapter though for it so that it could fit in the tray of the 3.5-inch drive bay. But once I did that, and it's a quicker drive too. The old drive I had before was just a 500 gigabyte 5400 RPM drive, while the new Hitachi drive that I put in is a 7200 RPM drive, and it's a terabyte. So, and at this point, once I put that in, I'm not even seeing that issue with the 100% on the disk, because basically it's able to handle it. And that's for the most part the truth when it comes to that issue with it being 100% on the C drive or on the disk. I've only seen that. I've seen that at my job too, and like they used to like dodge back and forth what the issue is, and like nobody really knew. Even Microsoft didn't even want to admit that it was Windows 10 or Windows 8, because that's where you usually see this issue, is Windows 8 PCs and Windows 10 PCs. And the only real solution was just to upgrade to an SSD, because SSDs were able to tolerate it, which is kind of messed up. So like if you were with a regular mechanical drive, you're kind of screwed, like, but like, or not even a mechanic, but like if you have the older, slower drives, the 5400 RPM drives, for the most part. And then what I'm seeing here is like proof that, if it does go to 100%, you need like something a little bit quicker, like a 7200 RPM drive or quicker than that. So pretty much an SSD, preferably. But yeah, like if you have an older DDR2 PC like this one, and thinking of just keeping it Windows 7 or going Linux, you could do that. But I mean, the newest update, or the update to Windows 10, I think the version that it was 20H2, I believe. I had to check though. But the build, or I think I showed it right there actually. No. Let me see here. I've never seen that before. It was like right here. Come on. Yeah, so it's the newest version, 20H2 of Windows 10 Pro I put. So it seems to run well though with this version of Windows 10 compared to what it was in 2016. So if you're on the fence of going Windows 10, I would say that, or at least if you have an older machine, I would at least try to do that. Now, preferably also, I would also recommend, changing the hard drive depending on how old the hard drive is in that system. So, and SSDs are a lot cheaper now, so if you want to do SSD, you can do that too. Upgrade the RAM. I have, the max you can do is 8 on here, but even if you just do 4 gig of RAM, DDR2 RAM should be okay as well. Alright, I think that'll do for me here. Leave any comments if you have any.